Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Let's solve this beautiful question on the board. Now look at what we are given. We are given that the integral of 2 to 3 link what? The derivative function of what? S multiplied by e to x dx. Now you are asked to integrate the of this function with respect to s. But don't forget that this is what? Definite what? Integral. Why is it called definite integral? Because you are having what? Our lower limit and our what? Our upper limit. Okay. Now what are we going to do? Wow, this question is so interesting and amazing question. Now let's bring out this w of s. W of what? Into s multiplied by e to x. Now what did this stand for? What is the function of this? What did this represent? What is the representation of this? That's what we're going to look for first, because if you don't know the representation of this, we cannot integrate this function. We cannot work. Now I want you to understand that the derivative of x you are hearing about all these days and you are scared you don't know. The derivative of x you are hearing about and say, what is this derivative of x you are talking about? The derivative of x is the inverse of what? The inverse function of what? F of s equals to what? E multiplied by e to x. Take note. The derivative of x you are hearing about that you don't really understand what is the derivative of x. It simply means is the inverse of the function of what? F of s equals to what? E. F of s equals to what? S multiplied by e to x. Take note, very, very important. Now, by the definition of Lambert derivative function, by the definition, f of x, okay, is equals to what? X multiplied by e to x. That means f of x is cy equals to what? S multiplied by what? E to x. Now, remember we are looking for the what? The inverse function, f inverse of x. This is what we are looking for. So if you are looking for the s inverse of x, it is not wrong if we swap. If you swap from here, we are not wrong. So that means s will be equals to y multiplied by e to y. But how are we going to have this y? Because if you got the value of y, that means you're getting the inverse function. Okay. Now how are we going to get the value of y? That's why I have to take what? The Lambert derivative function of what? Both sides. Now let's take the Lambert derivative function of both sides. That means the derivative function of what? The derivative function of s is equals to the derivative function of what? Into y multiplied by e to y. That means the derivative function of s is equals to what? The derivative function of this is just what? Y. That means the derivative function of this is just what? X. But I'm coming to there. I'm coming to that, okay? Now, and this implies that y is equals to the derivative function of what? X. That means the inverse function, the f inverse of x is equals to what? The derivative of what? X. Wow, this is interesting, right? It's amazing. Now I can remove this from here. Now, consider the inverse function of this function, which is the inverse f of s inverse of s equals to the derivative function. This is beautiful. That means what if I substitute the original function in this function? What the inverse function? What would be the outcome? Remember, in the original function, x map what? Y. In the original function, s map what? Y. But in the inverse function, y map what? X. Can you see how simple it is? Now, that means the inverse of the original function, which is what? S multiplied by e to s, because this is the original function. You can see here that y is equals to e multiplied by e to s, which is the original function, is equals to what? Now look at what you have here. Now become the w function of what? Into s multiplied by e to x. Okay? You see how amazing it is? Very amazing. Now what will be the outcome of this? The outcome of this will be equals to this, so I can have what is the value of this. You see? Now because some people are watching this video will not really understand what is going on here. But let me use a simple problem, a simple function to explain to you. If you have y is equals to what? 3x, and you are asked to find the inverse of what? X. Okay, that means by swapping, that means s will be equals to what? 3y. If we divide here by 3 and divide here by 3, 3 will go out, and our y will be equals to s divided by what? 3. That means the inverse function of x is equals to x divided by what? 3. Now, what if we put the original function in this function? What will be the outcome? Let's see. The inverse of what? The original function, which is what? 3x, is equals to what? Now, I want to understand that since y is equals to what? 3x, okay, and s is equals to 3y, it means that s is equals to y. That means they are equal. They are what? Equal. I know some people will be doubting, are they equal, sagas? Now, let's see. Do you know that y is equals to 3x and s is equals to 3y? That means 3x is equals to 3y. I know most of, if you are given a function of g of x equals to 2x plus 3, let me say g of x equals to f of x is equals to what? Let me say 4x, let me say x plus 3. And you're asked to find the value of x. What are you going to do? You're going to equate f of x equals to g of x and solve for x. That's what I'm saying. So if we divide here by 3 and divide here by 3, you can see that x is equals to y. That's exactly what I'm saying. Can you see that interesting? It's very interesting. Now we can remove this from here. But I want you to know that y is equals to x. X is equals to what? Y. And y is equals to x. Now, you are seeing x here, right? And you are seeing that, where is that place? Let me write here very clear so that you understand. Let me write here so you understand what is going on here. That means x is equals to 3y, okay? That means y is equals to x divided by 3, so you understand. Now, what is the inverse function of the original function, which is 3x? Now you can see that x is equals to 3y. So x, this x you are seeing is this x equals to 3y, and this y you are seeing is still what? Is still x. Okay. Now what we are going to do over what? This 3, because this is the inverse function. I want to look for this s from here. We know that s is equals to 3y, and y is what? Remember that y is equals to x. You see, that means this will become what? 3x, because y is 3 is x, because s is equals to y and y is equals to x. So in place of this x you are seeing, you are going to have 3x. Okay, so yes, what? 3x. So this 3 will cancel out this, and the inverse function of 3s is equals to what? X. Can you see how simple it is? Remember that inverse function is a function that reverses the operation of another function. Simple. Now from this we can apply, we can do something here. So we can remove this from here. Okay, fine. Now that means from here, s multiplied by e to s is equals to y multiplied by e to y. It means that y is equals to x and s is equals to y. Now that means the inverse of the original function will just give us x. Will just give us what? X. That means the inverse of the original function, which is s multiplied by e to x, is equals to the derivative function of what? Into s multiplied by e to x. Okay. Now s multiplied by e to x is equals to y multiplied by e to y, and s is equals and y is equals to what? X. Okay. That means what will be the outcome of this is just x. Because now let's see, because we say, Sagas, why how you do know it's going to be x? Pay attention. Let's go back to the original question. Now look at x. Are you seeing x? Look at x. Are you seeing x? Look at s equals to y multiplied by e to x, and we say that y is equals to x. That means if x is here and s is here, the outcome is still x. Is it not simple? Look at y is equals to x, and we can see that s is equals to y multiplied by e to y. If s is equals to y and y is equals to x, if you put x here and put x here, that means the outcome of this is just what? X. So the outcome of this is just what? X equals to what? The derivative function of what? Into s multiplied by e to x. And this implies that the derivative function of what? Into s multiplied by e to s is equals to what? X. For those of you solving complex problem and you always apply the Lambert derivative function, this is how the Lambert derivative function of s multiplied by e to s is always equals to x. You see how simple it is? Very simple and interesting. Now that means the whole of this you are seeing, is just x. It's just x. So that's in this time become what? The integral of 2 to what? 3 ln what? Ln x dx. Wow, this is pocket union. This is amazing. Perfect. I love this. Wow. So let's go and integrate this. Wow, this is amazing. So can remove this from here and go back to our question. Okay, just let me prove and have that. Okay, let's go back to our question. All right, that means the integral of 2 to 3 ln what? The derivative function of what? Into s multiplied by e to s dx. Sorry, the x is equals to the integral of 2 to 3 ln what? X dx, because the whole of this is x. That means we are going to use our integration by parts. That means you say that the integral of what? U dv is equals to uv multiplied by v minus the integral of what? V du. So this is already the function. So then I'm going to add this is equals to, now what is our u? Our u will be equals to what? Ln x. And our dv will be equals to what? Since when there's 1 here, 1 multiplied by this, we just have the x. Okay? That means the y, the u over the x will be equals to 1 over x. If you differentiate, you have 1 over x. Okay? Then if you integrate it, you're going to have this back. Okay? Then this will be equals to, from here, take the integral of both sides. That means v is equals to what? Is equals to x. Now, let's put this in the formula. This is the formula. Look at the formula. That means this will be equals to, now let's look at v. V is what? What this is u. Look at u. U is ln x. So u is ln x multiplied by what is v? V is x multiplied by x. Okay, minus the integral of what? What is v? V is x. So you are having x. Okay, now you are having x, right? And what is the u? Look at the u, but let's make the u the subject. That means the u is equals to into x divided by, the u is equals to 1 over x multiplied by what? The x. This is the u. That means here is what? Into 1 over x multiplied by what? The x. And don't forget that our boundary is from what? Is from 2 to what? 3. Wow. Now, ln x times x is going to give you x ln x minus the integral. This will cancel out this. We're having just the x. Our boundary is from 2 to 3. That means this will be equals to s ln x, okay, minus the coefficient of the y here is 1. So if you negate 1 with respect to s, we're going to have just x. And the boundary is from 2 to 3. Now we are done with this integral. We have integrated this already. So let's substitute our upper limit minus our lower limit. So this will be equals to 3 ln 3 minus 3 minus into 2 ln 2 minus 2. Okay, that means this will be equals to 3 ln 3 minus 3. Then minus times we have this is minus 2 ln 2 plus what? 2. That means this will be equals to 3 ln what? 3 minus 2 ln 2 minus 3 plus 2. That means this will be equals to 3 ln 3, okay, ln 3 minus 2 ln 2. Then minus 3 plus 2 is what? Is minus 1. So this is the solution. And this implies that the integral of 2 to 3 ln the w function of what? Into s multiplied by e to s is equals to what? Is equals to 3 ln what? 3 minus 2 ln what? 2 minus 1. And this is the answer to this particular problem. So thank you so much for watching. Please, if you find it interesting, don't hesitate. You were to like, comment, and so share it to your loved ones so others will learn from it. Please, if you're not subscribed, consider to subscribe to rent another exciting video you notify. So thank you so much, and God bless you.